English podcast from English Learning Hub.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast from English Learning Hub. I'm Emily, and I'm so happy you are here with us today.
Hi everyone, I'm Liam. Today we are going to talk about how to speak English more freely. We know many learners feel shy or worry about making mistakes. But don't worry. We are here to help you learn to speak without thinking too much.
That's right, Liam. Many times we overthink our words and get stuck in our heads. We fear that our English is not good enough. Today, we will share some simple tips and stories to show you that it is okay to speak and make mistakes.
Exactly. When you speak, you learn. Every mistake is a chance to grow. Let's talk about why we sometimes stop talking. One big reason is fear.
Yes, fear of making mistakes or looking silly. Many people worry that they might say the wrong word or use the wrong grammar. But remember, every learner makes mistakes. Even native speakers sometimes struggle to find the right word.
I remember when I first started learning English, I would pause for a long time. I would think, is this the right word? Am I using the grammar correctly? That made my conversations slow and sometimes even made me stop talking altogether.
I felt the same way. I used to worry so much about my pronunciation that I would not say anything at all. But then, I learned that speaking is like riding a bike. The more you practice, the better you become.
Absolutely. We have to remember that learning a language is a journey. No one becomes perfect overnight. The key is to start talking, even if you are not perfect. Today, we want to share ways to help you start speaking without too much thinking.
Let's start by talking about the fear that stops us from speaking. Often we think, I must be perfect, or I must not make mistakes. But these thoughts can hold us back.
Yes, Emily. When we try too hard to be perfect, we get stuck. We worry about every word we say, and then our conversation feels slow and unnatural. Instead, we should let our ideas flow and speak with our heart.
I want to share a small story. When I was learning English, I once met a friend who said, I am so nervous about speaking English because I might make a mistake. At first, I felt the same way. But then, I decided to join a small conversation club. In that club, everyone made mistakes. We laughed together and helped each other.
That is a great example, Emily. I also joined a language group when I began learning. In our group, we did fun activities like role-playing simple situations, such as ordering food or asking for directions. This helped me get comfortable with speaking.
The truth is, mistakes are part of the process. Every mistake is like a step on a ladder. With each mistake, you get a little closer to speaking fluently. So, stop thinking too much about being perfect and start talking.
It might feel scary at first, but remember that every time you speak, you are practicing and growing. The fear will get smaller with each word you say.
Now let's share some practical tips. One of the best ways to start talking is to practice every day. Even if it is just a few minutes, speaking in English every day can build your confidence.
A good tip is to speak to yourself in English. When you are at home, try to think in English. You can talk about your day or describe what you see. For example, I am making coffee, or I see a big tree outside. This simple practice can help you get used to forming sentences.
Another idea is to find a speaking partner. It can be a friend, a family member, or even an online partner who also wants to learn English. When you talk with someone else, you learn to listen as well as speak.
Yes, having a partner makes learning fun. Sometimes, we can even record our conversations. Then we can listen to them later and see where we can improve. Recording can help you notice the mistakes you make and work on them.
Also, try to use new words that you learn. If you learn a new word every day, try to use it in a sentence as soon as you can. It might feel odd at first, but this practice will help you remember the word.
Another tip is to join groups where people speak English. You might join a local club or even an online group. There are many free chat rooms or social media groups where English learners share ideas and practice together.
And remember, you do not need to have the perfect accent. Your words are more important than sounding perfect. When you speak with your own style, you are more natural and honest.
That's a great point. Our focus should be on communication, not perfection. When we worry too much about our accent or grammar, we stop enjoying the conversation. The goal is to share ideas and connect with others.
Exactly. To help you start speaking more naturally, here are a few more tips.
Don't worry about mistakes. Every error is a chance to learn.
Use simple sentences. There is no need for long or complex words.
Listen to native speakers. This can help you learn the natural flow of English.
Practice with fun topics. Talk about your hobbies, favorite food, or a fun story from your day.
I also want to add that sometimes, thinking less means not overplanning what you want to say. Instead, try to talk about what is in your mind right now. Let your thoughts come naturally and speak them out loud.
It can also help to plan a little bit before a conversation. If you know you are going to talk with a friend, think about a few simple topics beforehand. For example, you can decide to talk about the weather, your favorite book, or a recent movie you watched.
Yes, planning a few ideas can boost your confidence. However, make sure you do not overplan. Let the conversation flow naturally. It is like dancing. You know the steps, but you feel the music and move with it.
I love that image, Liam. Just like dancing, speaking takes practice and a bit of fun. If you enjoy the process, you will soon find that your speaking skills improve without too much stress.
Now let's share some real-life experiences. I remember a time when I was in a class and the teacher asked, "Can you tell us about your day?" I froze for a moment because I was so worried about the right words. But then, I took a deep breath and said, "Today I went to the park and I saw many birds. It was a nice day." My classmates smiled and the teacher nodded. I realized that it was okay to speak simply.
That's a wonderful story, Liam. I had a similar experience. I was once in a group discussion about travel. I was nervous about my grammar, but I decided to share my simple story. I said, I went to the beach last summer. The water was blue and the sun was warm. My group liked my story, and we all shared our own experiences. That day, I learned that simple words can make a big impact.
Stories like these show us that real communication is about sharing your thoughts. You don't need to use big words or perfect sentences. What matters is that your message gets across.
Yes, and every time you speak, you build more trust in your own voice. The more you talk, the easier it becomes. When you listen to others, you learn new words and new ways to express yourself.
Sometimes, we are our own worst critics. We hear a mistake in our mind and then think, "I sounded bad." But if you listen carefully, you will see that even if you make small mistakes, your ideas still shine through.
Remember, language is a tool. It is not a measure of your worth. You are here to share your story and learn along the way. Every word you say is a step forward.
And let's not forget, the best speakers are the ones who try again and again. Even famous speakers made mistakes when they started. They learned by doing. So, you too can learn by speaking.
I also want to say that it is helpful to set small goals. For example, you might set a goal to speak English for 5 minutes every day. It might be a monologue to yourself or a conversation with a friend. The key is to keep practicing.
Setting goals can also make you feel proud of yourself. When you meet a goal, you see your progress. And soon, those 5 minutes can grow into 10 or even 15 minutes of good conversation.
One more thing, don't worry about your mistakes. When you make a mistake, try to see it as a lesson. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Over time, you will see that mistakes help you improve your language skills.
And when you talk with others, sometimes they will help you. They might correct a word or show you a new way to say something. That feedback is very valuable. It is like a friend guiding you on the right path.
Yes, listening to feedback is very important. It helps you grow. And always remember to be kind to yourself. Learning a language takes time and patience. Celebrate each small step you make.
Now, we thought it might be helpful to answer some common questions from our listeners. We asked you to send in your questions, and we received many good ones.
I have one question here. Sarah asks, how do I stop worrying about my accent? Well, Sarah, your accent is part of who you are. It shows your unique background. Instead of worrying, try to enjoy speaking. Over time, your words will become clear and your accent will feel natural.
Great advice, Emily. Here's another question from John. He asks, what if I run out of words during a conversation? This is a common worry. When you run out of words, it is okay to pause and think. You can say, let me think for a moment, or ask your friend, what do you think? Sometimes a small pause gives you time to find the right word.
That's very helpful, Liam. Another question came from Maria. How can I practice speaking if I have no one to talk to? Maria, you can try speaking in front of a mirror. Practice simple sentences and watch your face as you speak. You can also record yourself. Listening back can help you see where you can improve. There are many online forums and apps where you can join a group and chat with others too.
I love that idea. It is important to find a safe space to practice. Even if you start by talking to yourself, it will build your confidence until you are ready to speak with others.
Here's one more question from David. How can I make my speaking sound more natural? David, try to listen to native speakers. Watch English shows, listen to English songs, or join conversation clubs. Try to copy the rhythm and tone of the speakers. Over time, you will find that your speaking sounds more natural.
And remember, David, there is no rush. Natural speaking comes with time and practice. The more you expose yourself to the language, the more you will pick up its flow.
These are some very good questions. We hope that our answers help you feel more confident. It is important to practice, enjoy the process, and know that every conversation is a step forward.
Absolutely. Before we finish our main talk today, I want to remind you all, stop thinking too much and start talking. Even if your sentences are short or your words are simple, speaking is the key to improvement.
Yes, every word you say is progress. So take a deep breath, let your thoughts flow, and speak up. You are not alone on this journey.
That's right. And if you ever feel lost, remember our tips. Practice daily, join a group, set small goals, and never be afraid to make mistakes.
Before we end our podcast today, let's quickly review our main message. Stop thinking too much about mistakes and start talking. Speak every day, use simple sentences, and enjoy the process of learning.
Yes, every conversation is a chance to learn something new. Don't worry about being perfect. The key is to communicate your ideas and have fun while doing it.
And if you ever feel stuck, just remember our tips. Practice daily, join a conversation group, set small goals, and listen to feedback. All these will help you become more fluent and confident.
We believe in you. Every small step you take is progress. Your journey in learning English is unique and special. So keep talking, keep sharing, and keep growing.
That's all for today's podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on English Learning Hub's podcast. We hope you feel a little braver and more ready to speak English out loud.
We really appreciate you listening. Don't forget to practice speaking as much as you can. Remember, mistakes are just stepping stones on your way to success.
Before we say goodbye, here's one last piece of advice. Enjoy every moment of your learning journey. Each conversation is a chance to build a better you.
Absolutely. Thank you again for listening, and we hope to see you in our next episode. Keep speaking, keep practicing, and have fun.
If you enjoyed today's podcast, please give this video a thumbs up.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips and fun lessons. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us what you found helpful or share your own tips on speaking English.
Also, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update from us. We love hearing from you and are always excited to help you learn.
Thanks for watching, and remember, stop thinking, start talking. See you next time.
Goodbye, everyone, and happy speaking.